Okay, it's been a while. I know. But I wanted to just hop back on here because I got a question earlier from one of my friends and I just wanted to talk about it because I thought it was funny that I didn't know about it. Because I'm like, this is me. Let me just center myself a bit more. Wow. Can that be any more real? Like, can I just center myself for a second? Oh my gosh, it looks like it's coming out of me so on theme for this video. Okay, this video is about, if you've read the title, the Medusa tattoo. So, when my friend asked, I didn't initially know what she was talking about. I got very confused. So, right out the gate, the question was just kind of unusual. But I've already filmed the video, but I wanted to just hop in here and be like, for the rest of the video, it's gonna be scripted because this is where my ADHD was like, you are not going to focus. So I had to write a script. So if it feels a little disjointed, that's why. My friend asked if this is the new tattoo for AFAB people to silently speak their truth. I honestly didn't know, so I looked up the meaning. The Medusa tattoo can mean many things, but it's generally a symbol of survival, strength, and overcoming assault. Medusa has become a figure of protection to women who have experienced sexual assault or assault on some level, particularly by men. That's from wellinggood.com. It seems like in this current age, a lot of survivors who've long since been ignored and demonized and dehumanized for coming out have started to speak back and reclaim their bodies and voices. Why are survivors aligning this meaning to Medusa? To understand that, we have to speak about her origin story. Not the story of her death is widely known, but the less widely known origin of how she became a monster. Earlier poets liked to write that she was a monster from birth, but later poets prefer to say this. Medusa was not born a Gorgon like her twin sisters. Instead, she was born human. She then became a priestess at the temple of the goddess Athena. Said to be beautiful, it was an exquisite beauty that resulted in her catching the eye of Poseidon. Poseidon forced himself on Medusa in the temple of Athena, outraged by Medusa defiling her temple. Athena cursed her to lose her beauty, turning her beautiful hair into snakes. By reclaiming the Medusa identity, they are dispelling the belief that being victimized means they ought to be cursed or punished. That's from Yahoo. An answer to the question, what's the significance of Medusa on TikTok? That article from Well and Good was from November 27th of 2022. So I guess I am late. But because of that, I wanted to see just how far back this trend goes. So I did do some research on Google Trends. Also, as you can see in this trend of the past year, the trend was pretty flat for a couple months, but it's now on the rise again. Though, the only video I've really seen on this meaning of a Medusa tattoo is a video by @Haley Tattooer. Note to self to add link in bio. And that's from 6 months ago, so guess I'm late to the trend again. I did see a comment saying originally her love affair was consensual, but I couldn't find that anywhere, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cast a heavy shadow of doubt on that. I was also curious, so I included a snip of trends in just the past hour, and it seems to paint a fairly active picture. I'm just going to go ahead and send out my trigger warning right now because I don't know where to put it, but for the rest of the video, I will be using some heavier words. So if you don't want to hear that or you're not in a mental space to hear that at the moment, please click off. I just wanted to give you a warning. It's not going to be a heavier video. It's just going to use some more abrasive terminology, and I just wanted to give a warning on that. All right, so now that we're all properly limbered up, I also wanted to look into, briefly, the interest by subregion. If we take a look here, the most interest seems to be in Wyoming. So I wanted to do some research into why that might be. Now, admittedly, I don't know much about Wyoming. I mean, who does that hasn't lived there? So I looked it up. Rates of sexual assault in Wyoming 2022, just to see. According to this article I found on Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming is well above the national average and is in the top 10 when it comes to rape, with 57% of every 100,000 people impacted. I do agree with this article's stance that this is a larger societal problem. Though the state with the highest rates of rape is currently Alaska, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and New Mexico also have pretty high rates, according to a report from CNN from 2014. More recently, as of 2020, Alaska is still number 1, and Wyoming is in 7th place, so in the top 10. I wanted to give some backstory because we're going to come back to why I think this is significant. So, why am I talking about this? Well, seeing as how my friend has one, and this is a tattoo I also wouldn't mind getting, I figured I kind of had to, you know? Also, a little background about me, but when I was a kid, I used to be called Medusa all the time. This was because of my, hard to tame 4C hair. For me, it was used as a form of texturism. As I've continued on my journey of loving my hair and loving myself for all of my scars, I think it's time to revisit that and reclaim that term of Medusa, but in my own way. I also wanted to put in photos of me as a child, but I don't have any with my natural hair out, only with it processed. I wonder why. Could it be the texture as I just mentioned? Oh no. So again, why talk about it? Well, because I wanted to bring awareness to this new trend. Please do not make anyone uncomfortable who has this tattoo with your questions, comments, or inquiries. It is their stories to tell. If they don't feel comfortable, please do not pressure them. So, looping back to those statistics I brought up earlier, I wanted to look into one other thing. Abortion bans by state. As we all know, in June of 2022, Roe v. Wade was overturned. Not going to go into that too much here. However, it seems that in these states that we're seeing the most activity for Medusa tattoos that also have a high commonality of sexual assault, other than New Mexico, who are very protective, these states tend to have restrictions around abortions. I won't delve too deeply because correlation doesn't equal causation, but I will link my sources in the bio. All in all, I like this trend. I don't say that about many, but I certainly am supportive of this one. I firmly believe we need to speak our stories in order to create a safe space for those who feel they can't speak out. And that's what I want this channel to be. A safe space. #MeToo.